Hi folks, especially those of you who has fallen in love with the card game based on Tolkien's Middle-earth stories like I did. I have decided to open this channel dedicated to all who share my zeal and who know that building the right deck is as rewarding as playing it. And who knows, maybe those of you not knowing this game will want to try it out and find yourself how much fun it could be. So let's begin. At first, let's start with some basic data. Here we will construct decks for 2-deck game with 30 to 50 resources, excluding characters, and the same number of hazards with 12 creature minimum. Although I like to put there quite the same number of creatures as other hazards, because we also want to provide some fun for our opponent, or at least persuade him not to stick his nose out of the heaven. We will also construct a sideboard of 25 cards to complement the playing deck and be used mainly in the second round of the deck play. All in all, I will show you how to construct decks with one main topic running through the whole game. It won't necessarily be the strongest decks constructed, but one that has inner logic and try to include some of the mystery and adventure of Tolkien's world. Alright then, let's begin with today's deck, which I called The Witch King's Armies of Mordor. Just imagine that Sauron has just escaped from Dol Guldur to his old stronghold of Barad-dûr and has called you, his most loyal servant, the Witch King of Angmar, to secure the borders of his realm and muster in him his armies. There is not much to start working with, just a few orc bands and their respective chiefs, but you know you will succeed, as long as the will of your master is with you. Now to what we have. We will start our journey in Minas Morgul, where you have called the local chiefs to join you. I know it's not absolutely correct, but we can do only what the game rules allow. Those who want to be more precise can start at Dol Guldur and play the escape scenario first. Or you can start in Barad-dûr if your opponent agrees to it. But it won't change the narrative too much. You sit in the heaven with one orc captain, orc tracker, and 3 orc chieftains. As minor items, you have 2 banners of the eye. Under this sign, you will conquer the world, and you will give them to 2 of the orc chieftains. Because we will be operating within the borders of the ancient land of Mordor, there won't be many sites used. As you can understand, it isn't one of the most adventurous decks, but on the other hand, you shouldn't face too much dangers on your way to win prominence with your Dark Lord. The most important site is Barad-dûr, then the fortresses of Ungol and Gorgor are next, and the rest are used to just have a few more points available and to be able to move somewhere from time to time to make the opponent draw cards and make decisions which to discard. Now we'll have to have a look at what we will have in play deck. 3 copies of the Witch King, of course, and then some of the ordinary orcs you meet in Mordor everywhere. You don't need to bring those into play, easily discard them, because this pack is based on faction play, not on strong companies. But you would want to have at least 1 orc brawler around. Regarding resources, all groups of point-giving cards are represented, but as said before, factions are the core of this deck. Then we have some events that will help us on our way and which could be used mostly as soon as we draw them. The Voices of Malice are the only defense against Master Disperses cards, so as soon as you have your ring rate in play, keep at least 1 in hand just for sure. When the Witch King comes into play, start getting the point-giving cards from sideboard to the discard pile, as you would want as many points as possible at the end of the game. When the game begins, in your first round, you will make the obvious movements, which you can split into multiple turns if you want to. There is no hurry to get the characters in positions. First of Chieftain to Barad-dûr, second to Third Gorgor, third to Third Ungol, and that is where those 3 will stay till the end of the game. Depending on what you have in hand, You can move the Orc Captain with Orc Tracker to Nurnia Camp, or rather wait till the first brawler or veteran comes to join them. And now the game progresses with you taking in faction after faction with the help of gifts as given of old whenever possible. Only take good care of where to play each of factions, as some may be played on two sides. And do not forget on the modifications the factions in play give to the influence check of the new one. When you have that ain't no secret card, as well as Werewolf in hand, go to Mount Doom, where your captain and company are to bring those into play. You can also play Great Bats or other special item there if you have it in hand, but don't worry, those could be played in Nurnia Camp too. I highly recommend to position one Orc Brawler in the Nurnia Camp, so he could get the cards playable there into play, and the captain's company can come and pick those up from time to time. When you get awaiting the call cards, play them right away on all the Orc Chieftains. This will reduce their mind and you will have more free general influence to defend your precious factions. You should be able to rotate your cards very quickly, and so, when the deck is exhausted, you can play your sideboard point-giving cards and influence some of the factions you were unable to get into play at the first attempt. When you have free general influence to be able to get without bait to rule for some time, send your ring raid to Barad-dûr for Helm of Fear and Creature of an Older World. Those points will come handy. And when you are feeling strong and equipped with the right cards nearing the end of the game, you can bravely enter Shelob's Lair, cancel the automatic attack, or sacrifice some poor small orc and bring Last Child of Ungoliant to Minas Morgul. As your opponent struggles with playing all he has to play while being depressed by not being able to get rid of the hazards and strike at you, you may play the sudden call card as soon as the opportunity occurs. And voila, you are the first among ring raids once and for all the time. Now, when we have all the resources side of the deck tuned and explained, what shall the hazard part of the deck contain? In this matter, I decided to keep as close as the story goes and go for the undead combo. I understand that the orc-based hazard deck would also have its logic, but you all know it depends a lot on your opponent. In most cases you know for sure, or at least you have some idea about what is your opponent going to play, if he is a wizard, ring wraith, a fallen wizard, or even Balrog, and you can adjust the deck accordingly. For today's sake, let's build a universal hazard deck, which on the other hand could be used while playing against the deck we have constructed before, in order to get accustomed to the deck itself. In that case, it will hinder your progress and buy time for your opponent to play what he needs to play quicker, then you will be able to go forward. When we look at the compositions, you may notice two Nazguls, Hoarmurat and Uwata. Both are easily playable as permanent events and can help you when you need their special effects anytime during play. The rest are undead in the worst way, with the Chilldozers playing pivotal role in the timed strike you will unleash in the right time. Doors of Night are key to playing undead, and when you have Plague of White and the Moon is Dead in play at the same time, every company encountering some of the undead creature will have a hard time. You won't be able to strike every turn, but you can wait with the key cards when the time comes. The rest of the cards are to be used or not. Do not be afraid to discard any of those. More or less, you should be able to draw the maximum number of cards every movement hazard phase, and freely discard whatever you do not need right away. And unexpected outpost cards will help you rotate the most useful hazard cards, and Aware of Their Ways card can spoil opponent's effort to a large effect if you are lucky and choose well. Whenever you are not able to or simply do not want to play the undead combo, reduce opponent's hazard limit and bring in some hazards from the sideboard. The cards there again consist of easily playable or discardable cards, which won't block your hand when they do not come in time to be handy. After all, you may not want to give your opponent kill points when you know you won't have any yourself. When you play this deck a few times, I'm sure you will get the grasp of all the nuances as you can use to maximize its effectiveness. So waste no more time and let's play. I hope you found this short video interesting. Maybe it opened your mind to some new ideas of which I would like to hear in the comment section. And if you like the idea of Middle-earth collectible card game deck building, sharing of experience and ideas, click subscribe and like the video as each takes just a second to do, and I will appreciate it a lot. Next time we will have a look at one Wizard's deck, especially Saruman playing his beginnings in the Isengard. So, see you next time.